the right to be worshipped but Allah, that I dedicate my life only to Allah. These are the successful. Now let's listen to more of their descriptions. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. They are the ones who have khushu' in their prayer. Now what is khushu'? Many times we hear khushu', they translate it as submissiveness. Well, this word is not enough, I tell you. If we want to understand khushu', I tell you one thing. Do you have children? Anybody here has children? No. Yeah. Do you see when the children play, are immersed, playing with something, and you start calling them, like, what's the name of your daughter or your son?
My daughter's name is Zainab.
Zainab. When you call her Zainab, Zainab, and she's like in a different world?
Yeah, completely.
Okay? We have been given that. We were born with that concentration, that khushu'. We really were born with that. And you know, anyone who's successful, anyone who really excels, you know, they have this trait, concentration, perfect concentration. When they are immersed in work, you can't get them out. You call them, you shout at them, you yell at them, they don't hear, they don't listen, because they are there immersed. All their faculties are focused. Allah has given that to the children, but what do? We destroy it. When you call your son or your daughter, like for example you say, Zainab, Zainab, why didn't you listen to me? Then we start really reprimanding them and punishing them for that. But actually this is a positive trait. This is one of the main elements of success. Now I tell you what, if you manage to do this, have this kind of concentration with your prayer, that's khushu'. You're going to have it. And then you will see how your life will take a turn to the straight path. But unfortunately we don't do that. Now I just want you to be honest. It's not about really showing off if you have good khushu' or you don't have good khushu'. But we are like a sample of Muslims, just average Muslims, all of us. Okay? I just want to say, I want to say, and I'll start with myself. Honestly, out of 5 daily prayers, honestly, maybe I get to focus in 2, have khushu' in 2. That's the best I can do. Maybe some days are exceptional, yes, but I'm talking about generally. So tell me about, do you think, Zakaria, really? That personally, it's not about showing off or about exposing yourself, but we're just trying to get to see if there's a problem or not.
I think some days maybe because it can come very routine, so it's constantly you're having to remind yourself, and some days you forget to remind yourself, so you need the reminder to remind. And so maybe some days, because it's a routine, maybe just 1, maybe 0, and some days maybe more, 2, 3. It fluctuates. So, it's up and down all the time.
So it's not some kind of steady accomplishment that you do with khushu' of the prayer, which is the same as me. Okay, I'm going to pick up randomly. What do you think, Ismail?
It depends how the day starts and how it finishes.
Yes.
If you have something on your mind that is bothering you and you need help, or you're in fitna or trouble, your prayer will be stronger.
Yeah.
If you're just concerned with the worldly issues on that day, then you'll be far away from khushu'.
Okay, well, let me answer for you. Then basically, most of the time we're busy with making a living and looking after our families, our children, and trying to get a better job, trying to get a better accommodation, trying to improve our status. And basically, what we do, we
lose a lot of our prayer. We lose a lot of our prayer. We lose a lot.
Okay, let's carry on with the verse. Let's see what does if we really pray with khushu', what's going to happen to us, and how it's going to change our lives and change our achievements, our accomplishment, our performance, and everything we do with your family, at work, with the people around you, in your society, even your perception of this world, even your perception of your own goal, of your own mission in this life, what you can do, what you can contribute to humanity in general. And you know, from the early times, the Muslims, when they prayed, you couldn't even take them out of the prayer. I just want to mention here one example before we carry on with the verse. The Prophet ﷺ was in an expedition, a military expedition. They were out in the desert, and they went to face that army, but the other army ran away. Then they were coming back to Medina, and they were camping just to spend the night in one valley. And they left 2 of the companions guarding the army. So they decided one of them will sleep the first half of the night, second one would remain awake. Then they would swap. So what happened, one of them was praying, and 2 people sneaked from the enemy, and they shot him with an arrow. And what happened, he was praying, and he took that arrow and put it aside and kept on praying. Then he got another one, and he kept praying. Then he finished the prayer, then he started waking up his friend. anyway, they started looking for the people who sneaked in. They couldn't find them, they ran away. But he said to him, why didn't you wake me up when you were first shot? Why didn't you wake me up? You know, you could have killed yourself. He said, Akhi, I was praying, I was standing before Allah and I was reciting some verses, and really I wish that my soul is taken away rather than leaving the prayer at that moment. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Could you imagine, you know, what impact could the prayer really have if we have this kind of concentration? So this is what Allah describes the believers as that. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Okay, what happens if you have khushu' in the salah, in the prayer? You know what happens? Our societies will change, will be better, we will have a better quality life. Because what will happen? Allah says, الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. They are the ones, they turn away from idle talk. Any words in which there is no benefit, they turn away from that. They look for what is beneficial, what helps them in the matters of the religion, of their relationship with Allah. They look for the things that help them in their life, really, the things, improve the quality of their lives. So they turn away from idle talk. Anything that is not beneficial, they turn away from that. Why? All of this because of the concentration with the prayer. Then what? وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ. They are the ones who are watchful, who are considerate to their contracts and their agreements. So if we want to improve the quality of work, the efficiency, that half an hour, push it up to 8 hours, which should be the case, we can do that with the prayer, because it has this impact. Now how do we get to that? We have to get this kind of khushu'. Think with everything you say. Then Allah describes the believers as, then he said, sorry, I skipped some verses. Then he said, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. They are the ones who give zakah. Why? Because their hearts lean to the others, to the poor, to the deprived. They believe that they have right upon them. We have to give them. Could you see how it improves your heart, improves your performance, your perception of life? It really changes you. That's the prayer. So through the prayer, really we can make a revolution, not a military revolution, revolution in ourselves, character revolution. We can make a revolution in the society, make it a better society, productive society, a successful society, which is all needed to really bring the religion of Islam high and be better examples. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ إِلَّا عَلَىٰ أَزْوَاجِهِمْ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ. What does it do? It makes them guard their private parts. Decency, chastity. It gives them honor. So they don't indulge into fornication, into evil actions. It gives them honor and chastity. This is the prayer. So imagine a community or a society with these beautiful traits. Then Allah says, as the verse that we said, they are the ones who watch or who consider, and they stand for their covenants and their agreements. Then Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَىٰ صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. He sealed that again with the ones who preserve their prayer, establish their prayer as they should do it. So this is like a capsule of the characters of the Muslims, starting with the prayer and ending with the prayer. Then what is the dwelling for these people? What is the end for these people? Where are they going to wind up? Allah says, أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. These are